Okay, now we're going to start assembling the desk unit that will attach to the face of this bed. So last two pieces here for this particular unit is the desk unit that has some cam fittings that are protruding from the top. I'm going to lay that down with those cam fittings up and also toward the back here. Now I'm going to take the riser, and the riser has the cam fittings here that will correspond. And I've got a Phillips screwdriver. I'm just going to slip those in to those connecting bolts and then tighten up that cam fitting. Go right on down and give it a good half turn. Tighten that up nice and tight. And then I'm going to go get those supports from the studio desk that we had taken the plates off. We're going to grab those next. That'll be the next step, and we'll get those installed. Okay, I've gotten the support arms, and like I said, there's a left and a right, and so there's kind of a square tube that has a flange welded to it, and there's one that's for the riser. It's a shorter piece, and there's one that's for the desk itself, and it just sits onto the desk like so. And now I'm going to take these panhead screws that I had used to attach the plate to the bottom of the sideboards. And again, it's a square tip. And I'm going to I'm lifting a little bit here so that I don't have the desk and this riser's kind of splaying out. I kind of want to make sure that those plates are right tight against the panel. And again, this is a square tip bed on these screws. And I'll go ahead and put all of these in across the desk itself, the bottom of the desk here. And then I'll work my way down the riser. Again, I'm making sure that that this plate is right flat on the desk surface, and it's flat against this riser too. And so I'll come around there and put in those across, down that riser, and then I'll go over on the other side and do the same thing on the other side, just like I've done over here. All right, going to the other side now. Okay, next from the studio desk, there was the hardware, and I had mentioned that there were some hinges and some little clip plates that are in here, so we're going to start using those. So I found those. I put those back in the box, so I'm pulling those out now, and then we're going to start using some of these 5/8 inch tapered head screws that are. It's a Phillips screw. This one is, and we'll use those for attaching the hinges. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this desk now, and I'm going to rotate this around like so. Okay, now from the back of this desk unit, I'm going to take these hinges. There's 3 of them. They have different length leafs on them. 3 of those, and then there's 3 clips. Those clips we're going to use to attach it to the bed, so I'm going to kind of set those back here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these, I'm going to take the shorter, the hinge has kind of the knuckle here that protrudes out this side, shorter leaf here, longer leaf. I'm going to make sure that the knuckle is kind of to the back so it doesn't get between the hinge and this riser. And then you'll notice on the back of this riser there's 3 holes. I'm just going to take that hinge and go ahead and screw that in. Again, the knuckle now is to the back. This hinge will fold all the way down. And I'm going to run a couple more in there. And now I'll go there's 2 more on this. So I'm going to move along here to what will be the center. Put those ones in. Two more in this one. And the final hinge, 3 more screws. And after I'm done with this, I'm going to take those three clips that I had and some of these same tapered screws. I'm going to come over here to the bed face now. This clip kind of has an offset, so you can see that it offsets there. What it does is that offset will be up, and over here there are a cluster of 6 holes. I'm going to take this clip with this offset out, just put it into position like that, and then I'll go ahead and thread that in there. And I'll get all 3 in. Now there are 3 clips, but I'm only going to use 2 right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the first one here. Again, it's the set of holes. It's the lower set of holes. I'm going to take this other clip and I'm going to put it on this other opposite side. So I just have 2 on the face of this bed for right now. Then I'm going to get my helper and we're going to load this desk onto those clips. Okay, we're just going to raise this. I'm going to kind of get these arms out of the way a little bit and take these clips, or these, if the camera comes right over here, you'll see that these, the leaves kind of dangle down, and I'm just going to set it right into that clip. And then my helper is going to hold this desk up, but not more than a 90-degree angle, just so the desk is kind of straight up there. And with him holding that, I'm going to grab some more of these tapered screws and want to make sure that these hinges line up with those other holes in this desk. So I'll thread that in. Now come over to this one and run these screws in. And then this center hinge that I didn't use a clip, I'll just fold that down and use those holes there. I won't put one in the center where the 2 panels come together. It's not necessary. If you want to use this clip, you can. It's really for just positioning, but you can just kind of put that clip up to the bottom of that center hinge, throw in a couple screws there, and that desk is attached. Okay, now I've got my 10mm socket and that 5mm Allen wrench, and we're going to now put these legs back on those plates that we had taken off originally. You don't want to push this table up any more than just at a right angle, or else it'll stretch those hinges out. So plenty of room to work it, but just don't push it all the way back to the face. Okay, we'll go ahead and drop this down. And I'm going to kind of slip this leg out. I'm going to take this hardware off that I had just kind of initially put in place, just kind of as a placeholder. And now I've still got this little spacer on this post, and I'm going to arrange this desk so that post goes onto that. The post goes into the hole on the leg support. I'm going to take this 5mm machine screw, slip it with 1 washer, slip it through. Second washer goes on the back side. Nylock nut goes on next. I'm going to take my 5mm and go ahead and tighten that up. Now these are nylock nuts, so they don't need to be over tight. They won't back off because they've got that nylock in there. So I didn't tighten that all the way up. It's tight enough that it doesn't slip, but just doesn't have to be tightened all the way up. And I'll hand this over and have my helper do the other side. Okay, now with that desk installed, you got a nice work surface there. Draw down this bed. The desk just folds down underneath it, comes to rest level on the floor underneath, and these legs will come around and they'll meet the floor. Of course, you need the mattress in there to hold it all down in place. Okay, so it just fits down, sets down there flat on the floor, and those legs are reaching the floor, and so I'll just go ahead and close it. And that is the installation of our studio desk bed. We appreciate your business here at Wilding Wall Beds, and we hope that this video has helped in the installation of this particular model. If you have any questions, there's an 800 number there at the bottom of the screen, and you can call in and get any assistance on the installation or questions on this particular bed. And again, we appreciate your business. Thank you.